everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year. Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games. Are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matt Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake, fighting through. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Stafford. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. 11 yards there. First down.
A gain of 11 on the play. And the Titans first down.
Set. Yellow lady. Yellow lady. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry.
On first down, it's Stafford. And he hits Drake. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Go.
Here's Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Drake. Now Drake loses the football, and the Bengals grab it. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This one fielded at the 5. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Finding Gabriel, complete. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On 1st down, Drake. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it up.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Albert Wilson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this 1st quarter. It took them a while to get their speedster involved, but they found him downfield there.
And what we've discovered as we've watched games is the speedster doesn't have to have a lot of catches, doesn't have to have volume in order to have a huge impact on the game. His speed scares the heck out of defenses, and other guys can capitalize, but when you finally hit him and he carries it all the way into the end zone, that's what you're paying him for. That big threat that can make big plays on a limited number of catches.
That's how you step on the stage with your first catch. Take it to the house. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted number 1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
They'll start by running the option to the right. Murray has the first down and more. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
He's crashing. He's checking crack. Check 13. Check 13. Under out. Under 10. 10. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Let it go.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down.
Watch twist.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 44-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. On the screen, this is Eckler. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And down to the 28-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Smalls. No. He's coming. We got double up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Now we've got movement up front. I think this is going to be on the Titans. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on 2nd down. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken in at the 11. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. Green with a catch left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Safety's creeping. Bang, 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 bang.
On 2nd and 9, Murray, and Green with a catch left side. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Right there in the middle, 55. I'm scared.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray steps away to his left. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
58, right over there, right over there. 58, right there. Quit talking about it.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And the throw there going to be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Stafford, and this is going to be incomplete. That close on 3rd down, I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on 3rd and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's Murray from midfield. Murray fighting, lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Drake. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. 25 yards the pickup there and also a first down.
Oh, that's a big one right there. You talk about breaking off a huge chunk of real estate. But if you're the defensive coordinator, you cannot dwell on the fact you just gave up an explosive run. You have to look ahead, regroup your guys, and figure out a way to slow down this attack.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. It was Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, there to knock it away. On second down, it's Drake. And he loses the football a second time. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check, 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 check. Check 3, check.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. Flushed out right. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. And ball security has been a big issue. You see the numbers there. He's fumbled twice already.
And whenever we talk about ball security, it's not simply how you're holding the ball when you run it. It's all the other things that you do. Is it in the proper arm, meaning the sideline is protecting you? Are you dipping a shoulder to protect the ball as well? And obviously, the 4 points of pressure to make sure it's tucked firmly against your body so people can't pop it out.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Stafford. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. To throw is Stafford. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 30.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. That's complete right side to Gabriel. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 28 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Jonnu Smith, his first touchdown on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
We've been together a few years, and you know that I really ride the wave of old momentum, don't I?
Yes, you do.
There is a heck of a difference between being down 6 and possibly being up 1. And right now, they've got that opportunity.
No doubt. That is a big-time score and a big-time swing in momentum. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw, it's Murray. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. That one a first down pickup of 8. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll run the option right here on first down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 58.
First down, Murray. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Matt Ryan, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jimmy Garoppolo. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. 31-16 was the final. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? Find out. We give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. Nifty move. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Switch.
Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On play action, it's Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A.J. Green, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. When A.J. Green's on the field, something exciting usually happens, and that was certainly exciting.
Superior route runner, superior hands, superior body control, but I love the way he reacts to the football in the air. Finds it, locates it, and goes and gets it before the defensive backs can react.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down, it's Drake. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instinct. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that run play. Back to throw, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
You got it. You got it.
They went with the dime lift that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Matt Wild now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage and then get on top of you in a heartbeat.
On second down, McCaffrey. That'll find some space up to about the 25.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Let's go. Safe.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Murray throwing on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Cincinnati. 48 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray, he finds Ross, right side, it's complete. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Khalil Mack in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Stafford. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Wilson. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Throwing is Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, alert 3.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 in what has certainly been a terrific career to this point. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Stafford. Now he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Willie Snead, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. So they fought half the battle here, but they're still down.
Plenty of work still left for them, but they delivered in the first step in their comeback attempt.
Elliott good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Check 43.
Now Murray off play action. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Check. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He can run. Oh, now Murray has it stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Murray now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Bullard. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 50. Mike is a 50.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 41-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Titans. The 40. The 30, past the 20, and he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So they make the decision. They want a three-point lead versus a two-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
25, check 25.
1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Play fake, Murray. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Jones. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd down, here's an option right. And this Tennessee defense for the 2nd straight play gets him behind the line. They're not messing around.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Here's Murray from midfield. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford. And he hits Drake. He's going to have the first down past the 20. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, it's Drake. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. The Titans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. He may try and run for this. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
The crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or two, but it's no good as it stands. And this score will stay right where it is. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Would be a long field goal try from here as they try to hustle to the line. He's back to throw. And caught right side, Green. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Back to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And the Bengals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Well, partner, still a head-scratcher to me how this one ended. Down 3. I just thought, no matter the situation, you're in a spot where you can kick that field goal, go to overtime. Why not do it?
And this is where I think the analytics guys are going to continue to get more and more traction in the league. We've talked about different people now saying, I need a game management coach, someone in the booth to take the emotion out of it. Did they lose track of where they were on the clock, right? Did they lose track of where they were on the field? Was it makeable for their kicker? All those things come into play here, and it turns out they don't get it done.
So for the Titans, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast